Hello everyone, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Things are being tough lately, but stay blessed, stay strong, stay focused. It will all be over soon. So, I want to talk about the first page of Genesis. I did some research on it and I got some revelation from God. So, I'm just gonna start now. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So when we look at the heaven, word of heaven, heaven also means sky in Hebrew. And the word heaven in Hebrew is used shamayim. Shamayim is like a two of something, is dual. So it's kind of like sky, it's like the waters above and waters down. So let's go to the second verse. It's the earth was without form and the void, and darkness was on the face of the deep, and the spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Then God said, let there be light, and there was light. So so let there be light. So what does the God do? He speaks. And what happens when you speak? You create a resonance, you create a frequency. And if you go and research about the, I don't know the name of the, I don't know the scientific name of it, but basically what they do is, if you create a certain frequency in a glass of water, you drop another single drop of water inside that glass of water, and because of the frequency, basically there is no gravity, and the bubble just stays in the middle. And when you match the frequency, basically the bubble just collapses and creates like thousands of degrees of heat, and it creates plasma, it creates light. So okay, let that sit first. So and we go to the fourth verse, and it says, and God saw the light that it was good, and God divided the light from darkness. So the light is divided from the darkness. Well, I'm talking about the scientific point of it. I'm not talking about the spiritual point of it. But if you are curious, you can go and think about that, do your research on that as well. So, but in the scientific, where there is light, basically there can be darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness He called night. So the evening and the morning were the first day. So we see that the day starts with night, and it ends with sun. Not sun, but it ends with light. So it starts with darkness and it ends with light. But what do we think in the modern world? We think that breakfast is the first start of the day. But basically for thousands of years, that wasn't the case. Basically, the day is darkness and then the light. So let's go to the verse 6, and says, then God said, let there be firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. So basically water, what is water? Water is 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen, as far as I know. I believe it's 1 oxygen and 2 hydrogen. So you can pretty much say everything is coming from hydrogen, because it's like 1 neutron, 1 proton, and 1 electron, and every other thing on the atomic table is 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4. So it's like basically that's the minimal, the hydrogen. But the thing with the space is that the space is full of hydrogen, but it doesn't have oxygen. And hydrogen is kind of like in the space. I read that it acts like a superfluid. So basically, in a way, space is actually like fluid. Like it's like you can call it the water. And if you go back to the beginning, when we said heavens, we talked about the dual form of something. And if you look at the waters in the Hebrew, there is like mayim, hamayim, and lamayim. Like in English, it's just waters in the first chapter, but actually in Hebrew there is small differences. So there is like difference that it's like a different water that it's talking about. There is the water that in the earth that we drink, and there is also water which is like just hydrogen and just liquid, and it's superfluid. And because it's superfluid, it doesn't slow. It slows down. If you send a rocket to the space, it goes down very long distance. So it slows down in a very minimal numbers. It's like you can't even see it. Also with the light also slows down too slow in the space that it also acts like there is nothing there at all. But it's because it's superfluid. So now we were talking about the sixth chapter, and let there be firmament in the midst of the waters, let it divide the waters from the waters. So basically, what happens is now the earth is covered with a firmament, which we call atmosphere nowadays, and it divides what's inside the earth from basically the space. So the superfluid in the space, and basically the one in the earth is like fluid. After a while, it binds with the oxygen, and it becomes normal fluid, normal water. But of course, at the beginning, it looks like the earth was also full of superfluid. But after the firmament, now we are gonna go to we will take a look at it. So chapter 7, thus God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. So basically, this is the thing that I explained. It's there's two waters getting divided because of the atmosphere. Outer water, which is superfluid space, hydrogen, and the water on the earth. God called the firmament heaven. So the evening and the morning were the second day. So the heaven, like I said, it also means sky. So then God said, so it also says, so the evening and the morning were the second day. So it starts with evening, ends with morning. It keeps repeating this, keeps repeating this all the time for us to not, I believe, take a close attention to it. So verse 9, then God said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so. So basically, I believe in this verse that we see that after the atmosphere, after the firmament, the waters on the earth now become binds with oxygen and becomes like normal fluid water. And because the water is basically everywhere, when they bind with the oxygen and when they fall to the ground, basically now we see the dry land appear. And if you look at the scientific studies, you can also see that Earth back in the day, in the first times, was just one continent, but slowly it just gets separated, and we also see that gathered into one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so. And we go to the verse 10, and it says, and God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters he called seas, and God saw that it was good. So it also, and let's go to the verse 11 before diving deep into it. Then God said, let the earth bring forth grass, and the herb that yields seed, and the fruit tree that yields fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in itself on the earth, and it was so. So basically now the herb and the seed and everything, it starts to come out, the fruits, the trees. But the thing with this is that we see that on the verse 16, so basically the sun and the stars were not created yet. So how does the grass and the trees grow without the sun? So I believe we can explain it this way. So basically in the verse 3 we read that let there be light, and there was light. So basically in that you can go and search that scientific thing, but it's very rare to find. It's like it's kept hidden or something. I'm not really sure, but it's basically when you create a certain frequency, like I said, it creates plasma. But because we are talking about a much broader, basically we're talking about the universe, and that frequency is more stable and everything, because God can basically do whatever he wants. So that stability creates when the bubble clashes. Like I said, it creates a lot of heat and light, plasma. So we can say that basically that when God said let there be light, it was like a light, but it went on for millions of years. We can pretty much say that. So nowadays we say that day is 24 hours, but there is nothing like that in Torah. It just says a day is night and light. So basically an explosion happens, let's say, a plasma happens, and then there is light, and it goes on for 1 million years, and it goes out again for another million years. So it's like 1 million year light and 1 million year darkness basically, and that's the first day. So yeah, so let's go to the 12. We read the 12, so let's go to the 13. And the 13 says, so the evening and the morning were the third day. It says again evening and the morning. So it starts with evening and then ends with the morning. And 14, then God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and seasons and for days and years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth. And it was so. Then God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. God set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. So basically now we can see that we read that everything is now getting stable. There is the stars created, there is the sun created, there is the moon and everything else on the sky. So it's now becoming more stable. But we already know that there is already the tree and the grass on the earth already. So actually, so that experiment what I said to you, when the air bubble collapses and it creates a huge amount of heat and it creates plasma light, is called fusion, and that's the same thing that is used in nuclear bombs, I guess, I believe. And also the sun works with fusion. So so when the bubble collapses and when it creates plasma, you need some sort of gravity to hold it in that state, because it becomes very heavy, very dense. So basically, we can pretty much assume that when God said, "Let there be light," when God spoke, the frequency, the sound He made, it's still going on, because there's still gravity, and it keeps the Earth hold tight, dense, and it dances in a very small spot, and it gives light and everything. So basically, that frequency is still going on. So yeah, so let's go to the 19. So the evening and the morning were the fourth day, another time that it remembers us. Then God said, let the waters abound with an abundance of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the face of the firmament of the heavens. Now we see that living beings, living objects, getting they are now well, after the God speaks, they are now getting created. So there's another frequency that went on. When God spoke, there is frequency, and now it creates the fishes and everything else. So after the herb and the grass and the tree, we can see the second thing that comes is basically the sea creatures and every living thing that moves. So and every winged bird according to its kind, and God saw that it was good. So yeah, now we see the animated creatures. 22, and God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the sea, and let birds multiply on the earth. So let's go to 23. And so the evening and the morning were the fifth day. 24. But now we can assume that because there is sun, because now everything is stable, we may assume that it's now 24 hours. A day is like 24 hours now. But I don't really know much about it. Maybe in the older days, days were longer. Maybe instead of 24, maybe it was 60 hours a day. I didn't done enough research on that. But if you do the research, please hit on the comment section. I would like to learn as well. And so yeah, 24. Then God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature according to its kind, cattle, creeping thing, and beast of the earth, each according to its kind. And it was so. So now we see the land animals getting they are getting created, or they are like, basically, I don't know how they are getting created. Well, there is the theory of evolution. It could be that that's how they are getting created, but in the end, it's the God that creates them. So, yeah, so let's go on. And God made the beast of the earth according to his kind, cattle according to his kind, and everything that creeps on the earth according to his kind, and God saw that it was good. So these are the now animals. Then God said, let us make man in our image. Now this one is different. So we are basically the last creation, and then God said, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, over the cattle of all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him, male and female he created them. Then God blessed them, and God said to them, be very fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. And God said, see, I have given you every herb that yields seed which is on the face of all earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed To you it shall be for food, also to every beast of the earth, every bird of the air, and to everything that creeps on the earth in which there is life. I have given every green herb for food. And it was so. Then God saw everything that he had made, and indeed it was very good. So the evening and the morning were the sixth day. So after this creation, basically 6 days is the last day of the creation, 7 days the rest day is the Sabbath day, and basically that follows on Saturday, and that's the day that God rests. So I'm not gonna go into that chapter. I'm gonna finish it here. So the sixth day, we see that now the creation is finished. That we are the peak. The human is the peak creation, and God really loves it. He like. We see that he says it says like is this different here? It says that God saw everything he had made, and indeed, he says, indeed it was good. And when you look at the people are beautiful. It's amazing. We are amazing creatures. We are made in God's own image, so we have the free will to do anything we want. But when we look at the animals, they don't have the free will. They are always connected to God, so they always obey God. They always do what God tells them. If they're hungry, like God just tells them, okay, go and do this, go and do that, go and do that. They always obey. We actually we created to be that way, but because we also have been giving free will, we start to go bad, and that's why we are living in suffering in the world right now. That's why there is suffering in the world and everything. But I'm not gonna go into that chapter. I hope you liked the video. If you like the video, comment, like, subscribe, or share with your friends, or talk about it. Or you can also comment if you want to discuss anything. I would really love to discuss. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I said something wrong. So yeah. Okay, guys. Have a great day. See you.